Hey everyone, I hope you're all doing really well. Today I do have a little bit of a overdue update for my 2023 no buy. We're going to be recapping what May, June, and this first half of July have looked like, seeing as we're already on the 15th of the month when I'm filming this. So we're going to be talking about a variety of different things in today's update. If you're not familiar, I am currently on a makeup no buy, meaning that I'm not purchasing any makeup. I do allow myself to purchase makeup, and that is one singular exception, and that is if I completely run out of an essential category or a product type that I really do need to have within my routine. And I can only purchase that once I completely run out of that category, and I have waited a minimum of 2 weeks to ensure that it's something that I do need to replace and that I do have a need for in my routine. So yeah, this no buy is driven by a variety of different factors. In part, it is financial. I do want to save money and not just constantly be purchasing things, putting things on my credit card. It is in part also because I do just already have more than enough makeup in my life. Very recently, I posted a makeup inventory video where I did talk about the numbers of every single item in my makeup collection, category by category. And if you want to see really where my makeup collection stands, I highly recommend that you go and check that out. I photographed every single item, talked through the numbers of every single category, and it is definitely eye-opening every single time that I do that kind of practice, that I really do not need anything else in my life. And then in part, I am doing this no buy because I really just want to keep myself in check, and I want to ensure that I don't fall into these habits that I used to really find myself in of overconsumption, because I don't need all of this makeup. I have tons and tons already at my disposal, and it is extremely wasteful. A lot of things end up going bad, and so that packaging lives on for an infinite amount of time after I've used up that product. And in many cases, things end up in a landfill before I've even been able to actually get the use out of the entire product. So I just really want to spend some time loving on the collection that I have amassed over the many years in the past, and just enjoying the things that I already have, whether they're things that are discontinued or were limited edition. It doesn't matter to me. I just want to get some use out of these things that I coveted at one point. I really wanted to bring into my life at one point for one reason or another. And they're just things that work just fine. So I may as well just use them instead of always bringing in new. I know I've already gone off on a little bit of a tangent, but I just kind of wanted to recap my reasonings, and that also reiterates for you kind of where my mindset even now still is. I'm truly trying to change my habits. My financial and my consumption habits are things that I really want to keep on track with. And I really feel like just creating like this hard stop where like I can't buy makeup, the thing that was a big trouble area for me, is a huge and important way for me to stop my overconsumption. So yeah, no buy has been truly very successful for me. It's a practice that I've done in years past as well. I've also tackled this kind of drive to change my consumeristic habits in different ways from year to year. And this year, I am just simply not purchasing anything until I have used up 23 items from my makeup collection and hit 5 new pans. And then at that point, I'm going to reevaluate my purchasing habits, and I'm gonna see if I feel like I'm ready to bring new things into my life, if there's anything in particular that I really want to bring into my life. So let's talk about the numbers. Before today's update, I had 8 empties in my collection. So that was for the months of January all the way through till April. And then I had hit only 1 pan in my collection as well. So I was nowhere near approaching my end goal of 23 empties and 5 new pans. But today I'm really happy to say that I have actually doubled my number of empties. So I'm up to 16 makeup empties for this year. And I have tripled my number of pans because I'm at 3 new pans, or 2 new pans rather, but at 3 total pans for the year. So let's talk about those pans first. So if you did watch the first update for my Graveyard Project pan, you will already know that I did hit a pan in my Mob Beauty bronzer. This one is in the shade M37, and I hit a pretty sizable pan. I feel like I had been very, very close to hitting pan on this prior to rolling it into that project pan. And so I'm really happy I was able to make this happen. Feels really good to see another pan in my bronzer collection. And then even earlier in the year, I think this was in the early parts of May actually, so this feels like old news to me, but I did also hit pan in my Colourpop Pretty Fresh powder. So this one is in the shade Light 6, and it's a great shade for me. And I did actually just get this last fall, and I've already hit a pretty decent pan. I have expanded the pan since I did hit this. So I'm really happy to see the progress that I've been making on this. And this was something that I didn't have in a project pan. It's just something that I had found myself reaching for occasionally, just because I have very few powders in my collection and really enjoying reaching for it. So yeah, really happy to see another pan in my collection. So far this year, I have hit a grand total of 3 pans, 2 more to go. I do have a few different products through my Graveyard Project Pan and my Rolling Project Pan that I have a goal to hit pan on. So I might be able to make that happen sooner than later. But even if I were to actually hit pan on 2 more products, I still have to reach both of my variable goals, which the other one is to have 23 makeup empties before I conclude this no buy. So let's talk about the empties that I was able to complete over these past 2.5 months. I have finished 8 more products in my collection. I've actually finished up 2 base products from my collection already this year, and these are 2 items that I really did enjoy. The first one is a tried and true absolute favorite that you hear me rave about all the time. It is the Bare Minerals Complexion Rescue. I finished this in my project pan. This one is in the shade 03 Buttercream, and it's just a great, just natural, easy to wear base product. I absolutely love it. I probably will repurchase it in the future. I'm sure I will eventually, because it's just a formula that I know works on me. It lasts really well. It wears really well. It never like falls into my forehead creases or into my smile lines too severely. It's just a beautiful product. And I actually really enjoyed this next product quite a lot as well. This is the Merit Complexion Stick. I ended up using it as concealer more often than I actually wore it as foundation. I dug right into it and used up every last possible bit that I could in here. So, you know, I really did enjoy this, and it lasted me for such a long time, even though I actually got this when this first came out. I did receive this in PR, and this is the smaller size of this product. They have since increased the amount of product in here, but this still lasted me 2 full years of very consistent use. I never had it in a project pan. I just was using it very often off camera, and just like because it was something that was so easy to throw on, and I felt like it usually worked for me really well. But yeah, I really did enjoy it. I don't think I will repurchase it just because I have so many other concealers, and I am curious to try some other concealer kind of formulas. But overall, I did enjoy it while I had it, and I felt like it was a really great product for me. Let's just get a few other things that you are probably familiar with from my project pan out of the way, but nevertheless, they're things I'm very excited about. I finished up a sample of the Danessa Myricks. This is the Vision Flush in the shade Tiara. It was a soft gold kind of liquid highlighter, and it was a really beautiful, easy to wear product mixed with foundation or as a dedicated highlight on the face under or over base products. Really, really gorgeous, and I did enjoy it, but I'm happy to get another sample used up and out of my collection. I also finished off a big ticket item for me, an item that has just lived in my collection for so long, and it has been a high priority for me for a very long time on my channel as well. It was my Essence Satin Touch blush in the shade Satin Love, and I don't think you've seen the original packaging on my channel for a long time, but I toted this around with me. I moved with this 2 years ago because I thought I would have this empty sooner than today, but I have the empty pan here with me. Even though it has lived in a variety of different homes throughout the years. It was in this pan in a magnetic palette before, and then I repressed it into a Charlotte Tilbury pan most recently, but this is the original packaging. This is its original home, and it is completely empty. So yeah, I'm very, very happy that that is finally gone, even though I absolutely loved that product. And then another item I finished in my project pan is this Dose of Colors eyeliner. This is, I think, just the formula is just called eyeliner, and the shade was Maybe Baby, and it was a beautiful foresty kind of green shade, although you cannot tell. It just looks like a black, I think, in the component here, but it doesn't twist up anymore. It was not my favorite formula because it kind of broke up pretty frequently. Like it never really kept its shape very well. Even if I tried to like not even scroll it up at all, it would still just break and crumble on me. It dried up very, very fast. It was a beautiful color, really rich green shade. Maybe I can swatch it. I can get a little bit of color on there, and it's just a stunning color, but the formula for me just was not it. I don't think this is available anymore anyway, but yeah, happy to have an eyeliner used up and out of my collection. I finally used up a e.l.f. glitter glue. I had this in my life for many years, many years. I can't even keep track, but I ended up cutting into it, depotting it into just a little container. I think it was a Pixie eye brightener or something, and using up every last little bit of this that I possibly could. This was a great product, and it's so unfortunate that this is no longer available. I loved this. It was just like very much like a traditional cream. There was nothing about it that was too sticky or too difficult to work with. It just was so easy, and I'm really disappointed that this is no longer available because it was so affordable. I got this at Walmart. I know that for a fact. So it was accessible as well. And it just was something that worked no matter what. Any shimmer eyeshadow, any metallic, any loose formula, everything would adhere to this. I loved it so much, but nevertheless, it is gone. I finished that, I believe, at the beginning of June, and I went pretty much a month without a glitter primer, but I do have something to share with you that I did replace it with. And then I have a little bit of a spoiler for my project pan, but I didn't want to wait until like 2 more months from now to talk about this. So I just want to share with you this empty because I finished it today, which is super, super exciting for me. It is my number 7 Moisture Drenched lipstick in the shade Spiced Latte. This is finally gone after 7 straight months of dedicated project panning this year alone. It is finally gone. I have used this lipstick so many times over its lifetime with me over the many years that I've had it in my collection, but it is gone. I dug into it many months ago and had repotted it. I had repanned it, and then I ended up using everything in that pan. And then even today, I dug into it just a little bit more, tried to get a little bit more out of here, and I don't think there's anything else in here that's usable. It would be really difficult for me to get even a full application out of what's left just on the sides of this, but it is gone. It is gone. Here is the pan that it lived in. I'm wearing it as a blush today, and it is totally empty. I know it's a bit of a spoiler, but I think this next update is going to be an exciting one. So a little bit of a spoiler is not going to hurt anybody because I think there will be more empties to come, but not quite yet. And then my very last empty was a mascara empty. This is a product that I quite liked on like initially opening it, but it did not survive very long at all. It turned very quickly. This is the Pacifica Activist Volume. This is the Volume and Curl Mascara. I loved the way that it looked. It really created beautifully defined lashes, not too voluminous, but it did have a lot of impact on my lashes. While it was really beautiful, I don't know if it's related to the packaging or what, but this ended up drying out very quickly for me within a month. I just have to correct myself. It definitely was 2 months with this mascara. So every time that I say 1 month, I really mean 2, because at about the 6-week mark is where I noticed a major difference. I ended up having to add Visine drops to it to create a little bit more moisture to actually get an even coating of this on my lashes. It was very challenging for me. It wasn't something that just worked. I had to push this to work for me for about 2 months, and then I just decided I'm over it. I'm not doing it anymore, and I opened up some other mascaras from my collection. But yeah, this was really disappointing because of its lack of longevity. I did receive this in PR, but this is not something I would purchase on my own because these are quite pricey. They come in a beautiful glass bottle, and Pacifica in Canada is a little bit more expensive than other drugstore brands. But the fact that I only got a month of pretty much daily use out of this was just not enough for me to justify the price point and the amount of packaging as well. I would love to have mascaras that last 3 to 6 months in my life so that I'm not creating as much waste. As I said, that is a part of kind of my journey right now. So yeah, disappointed in that one, but nevertheless, those were the 8 products that I did finish up this past couple of months, which feels really good to me. And with those 8 recent empties, that brings me up to a grand total of 16 makeup empties for this year so far. So I only need to finish 7 more products before I can conclude this no buy. However, just as a kind of little bit of insight, at this point right now, if I were to finish those 7 items in the next couple months, which I don't really think I'm on track to do, I really don't foresee myself just going out and purchasing a bunch of new products and trying a bunch of new things. Yeah, I think there are maybe a couple of formulas that I'm interested in, maybe some things that I'd be keen to try. I love lip gloss, and I'm sort of feeling like the lip gloss collection that I have is not really doing it for me. I would like to maybe try a couple new lip gloss formulas, maybe a new tinted moisturizer or something like that. But honestly, I actually think about bringing new things into my life very, very little, very infrequently. I'm not finding myself really compelled by any new releases lately. And I just feel like I can kind of unofficially shop my stash on a weekly basis. I'm just kind of going into my collection and trying out things that I haven't maybe reached for in a couple of weeks or a couple of months. And I'm having an absolute blast with that. I'm really enjoying it. I'm still doing my makeup almost every single day, and I'm still loving on the makeup that I do have. So even if I were to finish up those 7 products and reach 2 more pans in my collection, I'm not going to be just going out and purchasing makeup and amassing a lot more products again. I'm just not going to be purchasing that way anymore, I think. But with that being said, I have actually purchased my very first makeup product for 2023, and it was because I did finish up my e.l.f. glitter glue. So my glitter glue is definitely an essential category for me. I consider it technically to be an eyeshadow primer, which I have 2 other primers in my collection right now. But a glitter glue serves a different kind of purpose than a traditional eye primer for me. I have hooded, oily lids, so the primer is a really good and essential step for me to have longevity with my eyeshadow. But then a glitter glue goes on top of that or in tandem with that other first step primer to adhere to these shimmers and loose pigments, things that are a little bit more loosely pressed is what I mean. And so it is very much an essential step for me. And I realized that in the tail end of June, I was like, you know what? I need to have a glitter glue again in my life. And I had asked a couple months back for some suggestions from you. And this one came up several times. So I ended up picking it up, and so far I am loving it. I will just say that. So I ended up picking the Fiorne, I believe is how you pronounce it, Fiorne Pixie Epoxy. This is a glitter glue that comes more in this sort of traditional lip gloss tube, but it's a doe foot applicator. I don't use the doe foot directly on my lids. I apply it to my finger, and then I just try to put as little product as I can onto my lids, but it is amazing. It's immaculate. It is so, so good. So today I have it on, and it created almost like a foiled version of the eyeshadow that I have on in this outer portion of my lid. I have the Natasha Denona Metropolis palette, the shade Penny, that's currently in my pan, those eyeshadows on the outer portion. And if I did not have this product on, it's like a loose and flaky kind of look. It generally gets a lot of fallout. It doesn't really apply as like an even layer, but with this, it like is a perfectly smooth metallic finish. It's incredible. So I do not regret for one moment at all purchasing this. It was something that I considered for several months in advance of purchasing it. I kind of was trying to decide what was the right formula for me once the e.l.f. one was gone. And then once the e.l.f. one was gone, I lived for quite a bit of time actually without it and missed it a lot. So this is a great alternative to it. This is not very expensive, although I cannot remember the actual price for it. I think it was like $8.50 American or something like that. But I ended up spending about the same on shipping for it. But either way, it still was not that expensive compared to some other options. I had looked at possibly getting the Inglot one. I had thought about maybe getting the Too Faced one, but I don't really love Too Faced. So thank you to everyone who recommended the Fiorine Pixie Epoxy because it is incredible so far. I'm really, really enjoying it. So that was the only product that I've purchased actually for all of 2023. So I just finished filming not only the video you're watching right now, but another video. I like teared down everything from my setup and everything. And then I just remembered as I was like kind of putting things back into my drawers that the Fiorine Pixie Epoxy came with a sample. So it came with a free sample of this loose eye pigment. This is the shade Awkward in the Arcane Magic. It just says a free sample on it, as you can see right there. And it is a really beautiful, like loose pigment. Kind of looks like it's a green, brown, blue, red sort of shifty shade. I wore it one time and so far I really do like it. But yeah, completely forgot to mention that that came with that order as a free sample. So technically I brought two new things in. I did not purchase this. This was a free sample, but in any case, I just kind of wanted to make that amendment to the video. The last time I purchased makeup was at the end of 2022. It had been like 6 full months without purchasing any new makeup, and that feels so good. And in this last couple of months, I have received some PR. I've actually received a pretty generous PR package from Sigma. I also did receive some Colourpop PR, and I did receive the new Sigma and Angela Bright collaboration palette as well. But I'm not going to be sharing with you all of those products in today's video. I kind of feel like the no-buy videos should be a space where I don't really talk about new products. That's not really the point of these videos. So I think in today's video, I'm gonna hold off on sharing all the new things that have come into my life. And instead I will do a PR haul video, maybe in a couple more weeks. If I do end up receiving any more PR, then I can kind of just have all of that as one larger video format. I will say, however, though, I do feel very fortunate to have received the PR that I have. I brought in a total of 11 products over these last 2.5 months, and truly the no-buy would be a lot more challenging for me if I was not receiving any PR at all, of course, because then that compulsion to maybe try a few new things could be enhanced for me. But yeah, I feel like I have a really good kind of relationship with PR right now where I'm not accepting everything. I'm actually being very selective about what does come into my life and ensuring that with the brands that I do have affiliations with, that I'm not just bringing in an excessive amount of products. So yeah, I'm really happy with where I'm at with PR, but I just feel like it's not really suitable to this video. Please let me know if in my next no-buy update you want me to talk about PR. I feel like I keep finding myself in this routine where I don't film for like 2, maybe even 3 weeks, and then when I sit down, I like don't want to stop filming and I don't want to stop talking to you because it's been so long. But in any case, I gotta cut myself off here. I do wanna film one other video today. So thank you so much for watching and for hanging out with me. My no-buy is going so well for me right now. And I really hope that if you are doing a no-buy right now or considering doing one, or are just trying to be more conscious of your consumption, I really hope the best for you. I really hope that you're doing well with it. If you wanna chat about it, please let me know. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye everyone.